Hello and welcome to my YouTube page and YouTube channel. So today, this is first of all, what I'm going to be discussing today is deal breakers in marriage. So the question today is, how much of a deal breaker is not having vasectomy in a marriage? So thank you for joining me. If you're new, please subscribe. If you enjoy the topic, please click like, and if you want to add something to what I've just said, share your opinions, please put it in the comment. I don't know why I keep saying Anyway, so my name is Obi Grayson Necker, short for OGN. I'm still saying I don't know why. Short is OGN. I'm an author. I write non-fiction books on personal development. So you can find me on Instagram, Obi Grayson Necker, and you can find me on Facebook, Obi Grayson Necker. You can also find this channel Wow with OGN on Facebook too. So we're talking about deal breaker. The question, like I said earlier, is how much of a deal breaker is not having vasectomy in a marriage? So I read an article, a little bit of the article. I wasn't able to access the rest of it. So a woman had written in saying that she's got about 4 kids and she doesn't want any more kids. Every time she has sex with her husband, she gets pregnant. She doesn't want any more kids and she wants her husband to now have a vasectomy. The husband doesn't want to have a vasectomy, so now she's saying it means her marriage is over. And I'm guessing that means she wants a divorce. Now that piqued my interest because, this is quite an interesting topic. Now, for my own opinion, I don't know what your opinion is, and I don't know the whole story with this lady, why she now feels she wants to get a divorce because her husband doesn't want to have a vasectomy, and the husband says he doesn't want anybody messing around his sensitive area, which I do get. Now, on both sides, not on the divorce, but on both sides, I can understand why the woman wants the husband to have a vasectomy. Also, I can understand why the husband doesn't want to have one. Because for men, this is a sign of manhood. So to be able to reproduce is a sign of manhood for them. For women, to be able to give birth to a child is a sign of womanhood. But this is an old way of looking at things. For so many years, we've been taught that if you're a man, you should be able to get a woman pregnant. And if you're a woman, you should be able to be pregnant. But that's not what makes you a woman. There are a lot of women who are not able to have kids. There are a lot of men who, for any reason, so many reasons, some of them sports, who can't get a woman pregnant. But it doesn't mean that they're no longer men. It doesn't mean that they're no longer women. So for this lady who says that her husband doesn't want to have a vasectomy, I suggest that the best option is not to get angry, not to yell, not to get upset, but to, get a calm day. If you're into drinking wine, I'm not really a wine person, but if it's sweet, if you give me something sweet, I'll drink it. But I'm not really a wine person. But if that's what you are into, just get wine, get strawberry, get whatever it is that helps people relax. Sit down and relax and then talk about it. Find out the real reason why he doesn't want to do this. Let him understand how you're feeling and why you want him to have a vasectomy. Don't get upset, because he doesn't want to have a vasectomy, because it's the same thing as him turning around and saying to you, oh, I want you to have a hysterectomy. Both of them are surgery, though that the hysterectomy is quite a huge surgery, is a way major surgery, but still is about stopping you reproducing. So hysterectomy stops you reproducing, while vasectomy stops the man reproducing. I'm not saying it's the same sort of surgery. I'm not saying the outcome is the same in terms of the fact that you can't reproduce, but the intensity of the surgery is way more when it comes to hysterectomy. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because a lot of women, if you can have a baby, would not go for that, wouldn't want their womb removed. Just the same way a man would not want to remove their womb, not womb, would not want to remove their, have their, the tube tied, or burnt off or whatever. So it's very important that you sit down and understand what is the reason behind it, and then perhaps get counseling, get somebody, like if he can talk to you about it, maybe he can get counseling, not that he counseling in the sense that there's something wrong with him, but counseling in the sense that someone he can talk to outside you. Because I wouldn't suggest he talks to his friends, I wouldn't suggest he talks to the family, because most times a lot of the information they will give you is not necessarily beneficial to you. They might mean well, but they might be giving you the wrong information, which is why it's best to go speak to a counselor who doesn't know you, doesn't know your situation, and therefore cannot take sides. They don't know your partner, so they can't take sides. So they are just on the fence, if you know what I mean. That's the best person to go and talk to and express to them how you're feeling. They might help you get comfortable with now talking to your partner about how you're feeling. So when you're now comfortable, they might invite your partner. I think I have a bruise here. Anyway, so when you're comfortable, they will then help you now be able to talk to your partner. Maybe you might talk to your partner on your own, or you might invite the person to the counseling, and then they would be the middleman for the conversation. But I really don't think that that's enough reason to throw away years of marriage. There's so many reasons to go out of marriage, and really vasectomy is not one of them. You just have to figure out a way around it. If you don't want to have any more kids, try other contraceptions, see if they would work. Hopefully they work. The man has to, if he doesn't want to have vasectomy, then he should start using condom. Though condom doesn't 100% work, because I have 2 boys and I got pregnant with them with my partner wearing condom. So both times he was wearing condom and I still got pregnant. So for me, I feel like my 2 boys were meant to be, because with the contraception, in terms of him wearing condoms and me taking morning after pills, I still got pregnant. So that meant that they were meant to be. But still, the point I'm making is that condoms are not 100%. Morning after pills are not 100%. And the woman going on pills, to manage their menstrual cycle, is not always 100%. So I do understand why the woman would want the man to have a vasectomy, because it's just a quick surgery. I've never had vasectomy before. I'm not a man. I don't know any man that has, so I don't know what the response time is or how long the surgery is. But from what I understand, it's a very, very minor surgery compared to hysterectomy. So if the woman doesn't want to have any more babies, and you as a man don't want to have any more babies, maybe it's something to consider, or go speak to a clinician in a sexual health clinic. They would be in a better position to give you more in-depth, well-rounded advice. Don't speak to friends, please. Do not talk to your friends about it. It's the wrong thing to do. Don't bring friends in the middle of your marriage. Don't bring family in the middle of your marriage. Go speak to an outsider. Speak to a professional who this is what they do. They've studied, and they've been counseling for years. So with the number of years that they counsel, the more experience they get. So speak to one of those. Please don't ruin your marriage based on that. Now, if you're using vasectomy as an excuse to get a divorce, to end your marriage, then you really have to then go and look back and find out what it is exactly is the reason. Because Maybe your conscious mind is telling you, oh, it's the vasectomy, so I'm going to get a divorce. But there is something behind that, and that would be coming from your subconscious. And you really need to take a step back and then go figure out what it is exactly, because definitely cannot be vasectomy that is the reason. If their partner is a very good person, they've been amazing to you and your kids throughout, and you have a wonderful marriage, then vasectomy is not the reason why you would want to. Unless you found somebody else, you want to be with that person, unless you're sick and tired of that person, in which case, instead of just throwing away, just do something. Figure out how to get your marriage back on track. Don't just throw years of marriage away. It's not that easy, to go and find someone now. Relationships are getting harder and harder, and finding somebody real is getting harder and harder, especially if you have kids. Most men out there now just see you as a toy, somebody that is being used, and so they come into your life to tell you all kinds of stuff just to be in your life, and they come in and they mess about, then they leave, and then you then start regretting leaving your other partner. Some people, you go on a date with them, they're like, if you really want to know what it's like, just do a test trial, get your partner to be there, but let them sit somewhere in the restaurant and watch, and so that you can just go and get a firsthand what it's like dating some out people right now. There are a lot of crazy people, there are a lot of unstable people, there are a lot of people who just are dating just for sex, just to have sex, which I think is wrong, because in this day and time when there's a lot of sexual health diseases going around, I don't understand why people are just going and having random sex with people. I understand that, it is fun, it's enjoyable, but in the long run, it is not such a good idea. Sex, the gratification is short term, and then after that, it goes. Then you have to go look for that graph. So because basically constantly chasing a high that you never stop chasing. And in the meantime, exposing yourself to really, really severe illnesses, and possibly destroying your life and somebody else's life, because then you go around passing it. So please, please, please don't date just for sex. Just meet someone, find out if this person is the real person, someone that you can build a life with. And if you've got a connection, then you can then start exploring that other side of the relationship, but only do it in a monogamous relationship. I know a lot of people believe in having a polygamy relationship, but even then, it's best that the people know each other and they stick within that group, because if not, if you start introducing outsiders into it, you're exposing yourself to severe illnesses. So I digress. So somebody who's trying to break up because you've got tired of your partner, just find a way to rekindle that relationship. Whatever it is that it was that was attracting you to that person, find a way to build it up. Talk to the person, go have a counseling. Unless the person is not interested in fixing your relationship, then that's a different matter. But if the person is interested in fixing the relationship, then please, please, please go and work on it. And then for men, when it comes to vasectomy, please don't close the book on your relationship or your partner. Listen to them, have a discussion, go and see a medical professional or a medical practitioner and talk to them about it, see about those options. The two of you go to sexual health clinics, and then talk to a medical practitioner there or a clinician there, and listen to their advice, see what options you have. Don't rule it out, because that can really start destroying your marriage. What marriage is, any relationship anyway, is very, very hard. The last thing you want to do is to start introducing factors that make things even harder and make the person feel unwanted, unloved, unheard, like you don't appreciate them. So you should listen to your partner. And women, please don't push the vasectomy too much. Try to understand that, for a man, this is a big deal, to suddenly lose what they, in quotes, see as what makes them a man. So it's not going to be a very easy discussion for them or for you to have with them. You might be lucky you get somebody who is open and really want to talk to you about it, but most likely you might not. And if they go on and go talk to their friends, it might make the decision even harder and make it more difficult for them. So with those sort of things, please keep it within your relationship. It's not everything that your friends need to know. It doesn't matter if you've known them for years, since kindergarten, since primary school. Don't share every single thing. There's in my book, one of my books, which has quotes in it, I advise in it that the things you should keep secret. You should keep your love life to yourself. You should keep the money you're making to yourself. You should keep your career moves to yourself. You should keep your next move to yourself. It's not everything. I know if it doesn't, if keeping it to yourself doesn't make you a dishonest person. It just makes you an adult, a grown adult. It doesn't make you dishonest. Share with your partner what it is you're supposed to be doing and what you need to be doing. Share your love with your partner and keep your family, keep your friends away from it. Okay? So that's my 2 pence on this issue. And I look forward to hearing your thoughts and your opinion. And just leave a comment below and I'll be looking out for them. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you come back and listen to another of my talks and podcasts. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye. Good night.